Hi everyone, welcome back into our Dental Materials Lab. Today we're going to be mixing an IRM, which is an intermediate restorative material, also referred to as a ZOE, zinc oxide eugenol. It does have a very specific odor to it, and that's the eugenol that you will be smelling. I kind of like the smell of it. This is how the packaging comes. So we have a powder and a liquid. So here's the powder, and it comes with a little scoop to measure the powder out, and here's the liquid, and it comes with a little eyedropper to measure 1 drop out, and then of course with your manufacturer's instructions. This is an ivory shade. So our armamentarium is a glass slab, a spatula, and our gloves. We use a glass slab because we can kind of control the mixing time by cooling the glass slab. In higher temperatures or high humidity, it will decrease the mixing time and increase the setting time. So it will set very quickly on you. The mixture is a ratio of 1 to 1. If you do have a large filling, you can use 2 to 2. The eyedropper is not a specific amount of liquid, and so sometimes the mix is a little bit not as thick that you may want, but with experience you'll come to learn the proper consistency of it. You do want it a little bit thicker than a peanut butter mixture because you want to be able to transfer the material from the glass slab onto the tooth, and it has to be a little bit packable because it is used as a temporary filling material, can be used up to a year, and also a base underneath a restorative material, but the contraindication would be a resin component restorative material. So in order to dispense it, I'll just put my gloves on first here, and we wear gloves because I'm going to be handling the product afterwards. So we just fluff our powder, and that's just so that we can get a proper full scoop. Here's your scoop. So overfill the scoop and then use your spatula to level it off. And then dispense that onto your glass slab. And we'll just set that aside. Make sure that you put your cap on right away so that it doesn't get contaminated with any moisture in the air. Here's our liquid with our little eyedropper. So we want 1 drop of the liquid. And we're sure that we're not going to mix that liquid and powder just yet to have a premature setting of the material. Wipe off your eyedropper and replace the cap, the original cap, on the liquid. And you could also actually wipe the little opening of the bottle here so it doesn't get sticky on it. So before we begin mixing, we're going to separate the powder into 2 equal halves. And then the 1/2 you could separate that into 2 or 3 increments, equal increments. So it'll look like that. Okay, you have a minute to mix it. The first half is going to be mixed in one increment here, and you mix it very quickly. So we spatulate it, and then we'll add the other thirds into the mixture. Okay, so the end result has to be very it's homogeneous in color, so no streaks. It's going to be a little bit thicker than peanut butter because we want to be able to transfer it from the glass slab to the tooth, so it's a little bit thicker than that. It has to be packable. Okay, so here we are, set it for timer for 1 minute, and we incorporate the powder into the liquid and get it all mixed in there. Okay, using both sides of your spatula, and then incorporate the thirds of the powder, and you can see how it's getting a little bit thicker here. It's very humid out today. Okay, And I'm going to incorporate a little bit more of that powder. Now it gets very stiff. So this is where we're going to be stropping the material. And this is where you apply a lot of that pressure. And you strop the material and it's all mixed in here. So it gets a little bit hard to mix it all together, but it'll come. Okay, and you can see now, I'm going to pick it up and we're going to roll it into a little log. Put it into a little log, separate it into thirds, just like this. And then now you'll be able to use your instrument to transfer that to the tooth. So can you see how it's going to be a little bit, how it's packable and the consistency of it? And that's how you mix your IRM. Be sure that you clean your instruments right away. You can use your gauze, 2x2 gauze with warm water, and you'll be able to clean this up right away.